Ayan, live na. Time mo yun si Eric. Eric's there already.
There, Eric.
Remember, Sarah?
Eric.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you? Nice
Eric,
to see you.
kamusta na yung mga dishes? Tapos? Malinis?
Okay naman. Siyempre.
Walang iwan na sebo dyan, ha? Kawang batas.
Ganda rin yung collection mo, ah.
Nangalin.
Your shoe collection.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah, it's
Imeldific.
yeah.
yeah, kunwari lang yan. Yeah, they all think that I died. Kasi hindi ko lang sila nagagamit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I shared the Sarah. We have a private chat room here, and I shared the link in case you want to share to your friends that you're actually doing this. Baka sino mga Esteban people na friends mo rin? Sila Bob.
Sila Peach.
The Peach, yeah.
Ooh. The Ukes.
The Ukes, yeah. Oo nga, no?
Peach de Jesus?
Yeah.
Peach Kalay. My teammates.
Yeah, Peach Kalay. Yes.
Torba, right?
Teammates ko sa Torba yan.
Oo nga, no? Cool beans. All right, here we go. Yeah. Patay ka, Sarah.
What?
Grabe.
Why?
Wait, Sarah, were you...
All right. We're live. Welcome to medyo ako dun nawala ako sa timing. Because we're supposed to do the whole intro music thing, but we've been being flagged by Facebook because of playing like copyrighted music.
Oh,
grabe naman, meron.
Just yeah. It's fun like that, right? Anyway.
Oh, sikat na tayo. Napapansin na tayo ng Facebook.
Welcome to Istoryang FutBolero. My name is Ron Poblete. I'm with Eric Madrazo and Mikel Paris of Auntie Anne's, and our special guest is the lovely Sarah Bad. Is that Sarah Bad? Yeah, Sarah.
Hello. Hi,
Sarah. So
hi.
Sarah's from Singapore. She's originally from the Philippines, of course. Sarah, you're Filipina, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah's Filipina, and she's now working in Singapore.
Pareho lang kami ni Sarah, mukhang hindi Pilipino, pero Pilipino.
Oh, no. Cool. So Sarah's been working in Singapore for like 7 years, right?
Wow.
7 years.
Tagal na rin pala. Wow.
Diba?
Yeah, I remember the days when you were just talking about moving to Singapore, then it's happening already, and then you left and we missed you on the football field. Tapos, wow, 7 years na.
Yeah.
Oh, diba? Si Sarah parang hindi nagbago. Cute pa rin. No?
Ron, di ba nanonood yung girlfriend mo, Ron? Kami ni Eric, tahimik lang kami dito. Nanonood yung...
Oo nga.
Hi, Sab. Paging my... Hi, wife.
Yan. Ayusin mo yan, Mikel, ha? Ayusin mo yan.
Oh,
So tonight, we're going to talk about the issues as usual here on Istoryang FutBolero. I take it Sarah's apolitical, so maganda yung point of view niya. Like, our regular Wednesday guest, si Celine, who can't join us tonight. Usually, she's our voice of reason, Sarah. So if you want a neutral opinion about anything,
okay.
if you end up talking about politics, then you'd be the person to ask. Obviously, you've been away, right? And that could be a good thing when we talk about politics. Okay. We're also going to talk about sports. Definitely Sarah's going to enjoy that one because although si Mikel, asked me to promise him that I'm not going to talk about Arsenal today.
Erico.
Dito na naman tayo.
Isingit natin yung Arsenal debacle.
God bless. Mikel has left the group. Thank you.
And of course, OFWs. Sarah is one. We want to ask her about her experience in working in Singapore, and of course, you do us the honors of joining us because the OFWs, as a very large group of people, are contributing to the economy of the Philippines, of our country, and that's a big deal, to all of us here at Istoryang FutBolero. So it's a pleasure to have you, Sarah. And there you go. See?
I literally got my passport today.
Nice.
You got your passport finally.
My new passport, yeah.
Your passport.
Where to go?
Galing, good job.
Not here for sure, sir.
And finally, yung I don't know if Sarah is always like updated with the goings on here in the Philippines, but there's a speakership issue happening in Congress. Si Speaker Cayetano apparently resigned today, but Congress voted no, so they didn't want to accept his resignation. So I don't know how that's gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, because he's supposed to hand over the reins to Congressman Velasco of Marinduque, because they have a term sharing that was agreed on 15 months ago. So si Congressman Alan Peter Cayetano is supposed to be the speaker for the first 15 months, and then after which si Congressman Velasco was supposed to take over for the next 22 months until the end of this end of the term of President Duterte.
Oh.
So yeah.
Wow.
So that's what's going on here.
So I'm here to learn about what's going on and what's the happenings as well. So
Diba, Sarah, talaga totally oblivious of what's happening.
You must be very happy, Sarah.
Which Sarah. I mean, if you end up talking to one of our good friends, Bob Guerrero, it's solid yun.
I miss Bob. Where's Bob?
Right? So Sarah, let's talk about you first. I mean, it's been 7 years since the last time you were here, and
Yes.
how's it like working in working abroad? Have you been missing the Philippines, or what's been going on with you?
Sorry, that's my.
Uy,
mom.
That's the Singapore government.
Mom, it's my mom.
No, my mom. Wait lang.
Uy, baka urgent yun. Kawawa naman si Sarah.
No, wait. He likes calling me then kasi. So that's the thing about working abroad, right? So you need to keep in touch with your family always.
Just tell her you're guesting on a super important show with
Ah.
millions of viewers every. Yung mga 5 viewers natin baka.
So anyway, I'll just call her back. But I think things are fine. I think over there.
Are you living alone, Sarah?
Yeah, I live alone. So yeah, working here. Well, there's a difference. Like, it's pretty different because it's like life in Manila. You, especially in advertising, because I'm in advertising. So working there, you make you're pretty much friends with your office mates. It becomes like a family, and you love hanging out with each other. You love having fun, and maybe that's also why you spend a lot of time in the office, and you end up working late, or it's also part of the culture that you kind of work late in a sense. And when I moved here, the difference was it's kind of like a culture clash. I mean, like a culture shock for me as well. Because when I got here, people were just like, they come in, they do and then 6 p.m. out of the office. I mean, not for everyone. There's some people who still work really late, but and with good reason. Just they're really swamped or something like that. But normally, I found that there was more balance in a sense. Na parang you come in everybody just wants to get the stuff done right away. And they're not necessarily like locals, so they're different people from all over the world. So I guess it's more like you come into work in Singapore and you just do your stuff. But there's also what's lacking is the whole family vibe as well. At first, parang it's getting the hang of things. But that was kind of the good thing for me as well. Parang I found that okay, I need to really I learned how to balance things out, and I guess because you don't really have the family culture that you have in your workplace as opposed to in Manila, you kind of just treat a lot of things more like professionally now. But you do end up making friends and having a good time. Like you can choose what you want to do or how you want to make of it or what you want to make of it. So yeah, so it's pretty good for me, I guess.
I can sense a little bit of longing there, no? Just listening to the sound of your voice, parang nalulungkot ka na. Namiss mo kami, no? Sarah.
Sabi ko, sobrang walang Ron dito, walang Aaron. Walang Bob Guerrero.
Walang Bob.
Yun, si Bob nakakamiss.
Ayun.
Miss ko na nga yun.
Nag-date kaya kami ni Bob one time dito sa Singapore.
Talaga.
Not kami na we watched Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's a big fan of hers.
Yes.
So, he's like stupid big.
Stupid love for her. Yeah. It was funny.
So, Sarah, no, you're there in Singapore for 7 years already, and how hard was the transition? No, you mentioned that there's no family vibe, and you just treat everything, professionally and stuff. How hard was that kind of transition?
I think just work-wise, you just really have to. There's a lot to unlearn and learn, but I was lucky as well because when I came here, I had friends already. So I had a lot of my Manila friends, Manila industry friends who came before me. So they kind of set it up and made it easier to kind of get into. And the cool thing about Singapore is that you have a lot of Filipinos here as well. So you don't feel too, homesick in a sense. But It's just professionally that you have to kind of discover that, okay, this is a different playing field, really, for me. It's a different vibe of a different culture. So you kind of have to suck it up and be strong about it. Because syempre, magugulat ka because like there are certain things that, you're not used to. So you just have to understand that it's different. It's different, and I think that applies everywhere else. If you go to the States or the UK or wherever,
Thanks for that. Kasi I'm just personally curious because I've been like growing up. I never really thought of going abroad for work, but the opportunity before when I was younger came across. Tapos I'm like, baka gusto ko lang, I might want to just stay here, or I can try it out, or something like that. No, I was really juggling about it, but I decided to stay na lang. What is more of a rat race? You having experience working in the Philippines and now working in Singapore. How different is the rat race here and also there in Singapore?
To be honest, I think I wouldn't have grown the way I have if I didn't leave. Yeah. And ako rin before, kasi, I was very much just happy with my life, my work life and everything. Parang just having fun and not really worrying about the money, that you get because anyway, you get promoted and you get more money, that kind of thing. But I wasn't really thinking about that as much because I was having so much fun, because it is really fun to be in the Philippines or to be in Manila even. So I thought to myself, I don't want to go anywhere else. But I think it just came to a point where I felt I needed to grow, or I felt things were becoming stagnant for me. So I think it was just the right time na parang the opportunities opened up, or not really opened up, like it wasn't handed to me on a silver platter. It was I think I gained enough to kind of have a solid portfolio to kind of send out.
Yeah.
And then with the help of a friend as well who referred me to somebody. And anyway, everything just worked out perfectly and smoothly. And the great thing about moving or trying it out abroad is just you learn about different things. You really learn about different people, working with different types of people. You gain the courage to 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 relate to them, or to stand up. And kasi parang you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your people. So as much as because I want to prove then that parang, oh, us Filipinos, we are really good and we can do this, do that. So it's like
Right.
you're not standing up for yourself, you're standing up for a lot of people as well. Wow.
Awesome.
Good for
That's
me,
awesome.
We just had a discussion about this, di ba, Mikael? When we had, I don't know if it was Orion or si Mark yata. Basta it has something to do with our talents, the talented Filipinos who move abroad.
Well, I worked in London for 10 years, no? And I was just discussing it with my mom today because my parents are still in the UK. And like what Sarah said, I learned so much there from working there. That's really all the experience I have now is from what I gained over there. It wasn't easy at all. It was such an adjustment for me. The whole time I was there, I just wanted to go back to Manila. So when the opportunity was presented to me, I came back. No, but when I was there, I remembered, whenever I was there, I'd always think, if I had Filipinos here with me, it would be a whole different work scenario. Kasi the Filipinos were just so hardworking. My remembrance of them now was that they're so hardworking. They wouldn't give you a hard time. They'll just do what they're supposed to do. And I remember one of the best days when I was the station manager there is I was able to hire a Filipina lady to be one of our security in the station. And she was amazing. Like, just breath of fresh air. She was just so happy. She did all the work, and took all the overtime, never complained. And everybody loved her. And everybody kept saying, oh, we should clone her and get more Pinays. And I was happy because, I always used to tell my colleagues there, the British guys, to say, Filipinos are hard workers, ganyan. And they never really kasi had experience, apart from me, when I don't really look Filipino naman, no? And they didn't consider me for whatever reason Filipino, because I was also British. But I was so happy when I was able to bring that Filipino influence in. And then there's more and more people throughout the station, not necessarily working for us, we're known to be Filipinos. And kasi a lot of the healthcare workers were Filipinas, diba? So they got more experience of being around nurses who are so good na Filipina. And those nurses would bring their families there, their partners, and their partners would go work in different parts of the UK, not necessarily in the healthcare system. So anyway, dami ng Pinoy doon, and the reputation niya is fairly good. It's not like, these immigrants are coming here and they're just lazing off and taking all the benefits. These guys really make names for themselves. And if you give them that's why the frustration here sa Pilipinas ever since is, they're not given equal opportunity. When they go there, they get the opportunity and they make the most of it. Because di ba na-discuss na natin yan dati, Ron, is, Pinoys work so hard over here. They do. It's crazy. Like even for us in Auntie Anne's, our team members, they work so hard, crazy shifts. They do such hard work. They study, they do all of these things. But yung parang at the end of the day, all their hard work, malit pa rin yung sweldo, ang dami pa rin nilang kailangan bayaran. Yung healthcare nila is so difficult, tuition for the kids. No, but then they go abroad, they're given these opportunities, and they're willing to start at lower levels, and work their way to the top. But then their life becomes more comfortable. Ang malungkot lang sa dyan, Ron, is they still have to send so much money back home.
Mm-hmm.
Yun yung mahirap, So sometimes, I was wondering, the nurses, yung mga kaibigan namin na nurse, they work so hard, they made good money, but they would decide to live together in a small, cramped space. And I'd ask them why. Because sabi, sir, Mikael, ang dami ko pang papadala sa Pinas. Ang dami kong pinapaaral. Magpapagawa ko ng bahay. Yung mga ganun. So, yun din. Kasi, and people don't appreciate the hard work that the OFWs have to do all over the world. They work so hard, keep so little to themselves, and then the rest is sent back. which is
Right.
what makes the remittances and all that go around here in Manila, which is great. But still, diba, yung sacrifice nila is immense.
Yeah.
Can also help, but bring up my conversation with Orion Perez Dumdum. Orion, Sarah, for your information, is one of the guys who frequents the program Istoryang FutBolero. He's actually very well known in the in the blogging sphere. Like he's like a big proponent for, or he's like a big advocate for constitutional reform. And he was like, I remember him telling me that other countries, other governments, what they do is they make it so enticing for Filipinos to work for them, because they know that we have the talent, and since we don't have like the right setup for foreign investment to come in. What happens is that the foreign investment goes to their country, and then at the same time they tell them, like, we can hire really good Filipinos as well to come to our country and work here and live here, right? Like what you've been doing for the last 7 years. So these are the sad realities, I think, because right?
And I actually noticed that it's funny because, like, you call it brain drain, you call it like different things. Like, of course, getting better opportunities to help your families at home. But there's also that bit about a lot of the cases. That's why Filipinos work harder, especially, is because of because they don't want to lose that opportunity. And then the ones who get left sometimes, like a lot of the people who get left behind as well in the Philippines, who because I know a lot of people then who don't value their work as much.
Uy, Rick, pinapatamaan tayo ni Sarah.
Hindi. Ikaw, Ron.
Si Ron, pa-banjing-banjing yung bunga, pa-DJ-DJ pa.
Ay.
No, because like there are some people na parang yun nga, they don't value it as much, but kasi they feel na anyway, it's okay, I'm gonna find another job tomorrow or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that any of my friends are like that, but there are some people who are like that. But I guess when you move out, you really, even us, like my friends and I, that's why we don't want to do any stupid things. Like, we don't want to get into trouble, because we value the fact that, okay, we have our jobs and we don't want to just jeopardize things. But it's not like a walk in the park to just get another opportunity like that. So yeah, I guess parang people need to but to your point then, Mikkel, it's like I guess what doesn't motivate them is the fact that yun nga, they put like 110 or 120%, yet the taxes taking out from your salary every month, or the amount of salary that you bring home is really, it's not enough. So parang sometimes you're not then as motivated to give it 120%. Well, for some people. And then I was just talking to my dad before about how, say for example, because people look at, for example, I can speak for Singapore because I've only lived here outside of the Philippines. But I was telling my dad that people tend to think that Singapore is an expensive place to live in. Although, yes, like the rent, of course, if you look at the rent, it's different. But it's also how you live dictates how you spend for things. So it's for example, you can actually have a $3 meal, or you can have a $300 meal. So you can have in between from end to end, however you want to. So if you don't want to, and if you don't drink or you don't smoke, then it's, you're pretty much set, because syntax is the one that, is that really weighs down everything. So it's like the alcohol would be, of course, very expensive. The cigarettes would be super expensive. So if you don't do any of those, then you're good.
Right.
Like, you don't have to spend for that. And the transportation then, you don't need to spend a lot as well. If you take the bus or the MRT, you just have to spend like a few cents. So it's really how you live. But so then he said, like, actually the cost of living in the Philippines would then be higher, because for a person who earns this much, the meals would still, like, the meals, I don't know anymore, like what the cheapest Jolly Jeep would be.
Yeah, it's like relative to how much you're earning. It's really expensive here in well, I can probably say
yeah, exactly. It's expensive to
living
live.
in Metro is expensive, right?
Yeah.
For considering how little our basic salary is here in the Philippines or here in Metro Manila.
Just think about it this way, Ron. If the minimum wage here in NCR is about 520, 530 a day, you have to deduct their daily commute, their daily meals from that. What's left, no? And kahit anong sabihin mo, a lot of people are on minimum wage. So, I've done the math with them kasi before, especially the guys in our team. You can see there's hardly anything left. And then a lot of times, these guys also, they have to support so many people.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true. I wanted to ask Sarah about, I wanted her to give us an idea of, how different Singapore is in terms of your take home pay to your previous job. You work in the advertising industry, right? And are you also doing the same thing in Singapore? Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Let me ask you that. But before we do it, I just want to acknowledge a few people who are watching our streaming. Most of them are from our other group, Mikael. That's why you can't identify who they are. So
trolls, pay trolls.
Pay trolls. Let me start with Ram. Iporong, he's watching from another group. Thank you so much for watching. Goma Garde, Pau Ortega. They're all listening to our to Istoryang FutBolero. And also Christian Gelanga. Hello, maayong gabi, ma'am and sirs. Greetings from Bacolod City, Negros Occidental.
Wow. Hello.
So, right. So Sarah, yeah, I'm sure you thought about this, because no one moves to another country without really thinking about it, like properly. So you had to wait. I mean, you had so much fun when you were here. We played football every weekends, and you get to hang out with your close friends, have your family here, and then for you to move to another country, to a country that you have no idea what it's going to be like. Obviously, you did some, a lot of soul searching at one point. So, what made you move? Was it like purely, purely a move up in your career, or were you thinking about your career when you decided to move to Singapore? And then when you did, like, how different is it in terms of compensation? Like, is it like a huge gap between somebody working in advertising here and someone working in Singapore?
Which question should I answer first? I think
start with the beginning, like how you that moment you thought about it, like, okay, you know what, I want to move to Singapore. How did that?
It was like an epiphany. I mean, there were a lot of things happening in my life at that time. Like I said before, I was happy just doing what I was doing. But at some point, I came to holiday and some life-changing thing happened. I don't know if we can talk about it. Anyway, no, but a lot of changes happened during that time that I felt that I can't. It was hard for me to go to work or to the office. But I was feeling a little down and glum, and I thought that I was headed somewhere. I felt like I was progressing, but then all of a sudden I felt like I was stagnant, and it was just a moment where things just kept a lot of things contributed to that decision, really. And I've never even been to Singapore, but a lot of my friends were moving, so I felt like, hey, you know what, maybe I should try it out. And my dad was also getting annoyed that I was going home late all the time. So being the only girl and driving home from Makati to Las Piñas was, was really hell for him, because he was a worrier. He's a worrier. So he really hated the fact that I was ending up like super late in the office, whether I was partying or working. It was really just too much for him. So it ended up like straining our relationship. So I felt like there were a lot of things that were contributing to that decision, and for some reason, and I think, fate is fate. If it's bound to happen, it's really going to happen. You don't really have to try so hard. I did, though. I did work on my portfolio like night and day, making sure that everything was perfect. But after that, it was just in a month, I got a job in Singapore. And it was just so fast. I think November I got the offer. January I flew out. So it was really, it was really, really fast. But yeah, to your point about the money, of course, it's a lot more.
It's like 150% more, 200% more, 500% more.
You're putting her on the spot, man. I mean,
like how much? She's just gonna say like, more than what I used to get. Diba? Like,
okay, let's see.
Difference.
I was actually shocked as well, because I thought, I would.
It's that good.
7 times more. Ganon.
Whoa.
Here. Wow. No, because I wanted to.
Yeah.
What your experience is basically something that's not common to. Is common to most Filipinos who move abroad, right? That's why we have OFWs. We have like OFWs in the millions. Like last time, correct me if I'm wrong. If I can remember it correctly, we have about 5 million or 10 million OFWs all over the world. So it's that many. That's why we are raking it in terms of remittances from our OFWs. It's like billions of dollars of remittances from all over the world. Yeah. So it's become a huge industry for the Philippines, a big revenue stream for the country. That's why it's a big deal. Yeah. Now, as for the brain drain, maybe there is such a thing happening in the Philippines, but on the other hand, we are bringing in the dollars as well, which keep us, like, in terms of the balance sheet, we're doing well because OFWs and of course the call centers that are investing here in the Philippines, right?
But Ron, all the smart people like Sarah are leaving, and the idiots like us are left here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Kawawa naman ng Pilipinas.
Kawawa naman talaga. Bakit tayo pa? Si Sarah pa yung umalis.
No, there are lots of and I mean, the Philippines has a lot of like growth opportunities, especially, and it's great that we have a lot of like entrepreneurs who constantly or consistently grow the nation, not just in terms of like the businesses that we have there, but also, like, for example, nowadays like Manila is growing as a culinary hub. A lot of great restaurants and bars and all these things. So like that's why, and come on, Bukhang Bibig ng Pinoy is how great it is in the Philippines. Like, our beaches are no match to these other places, or like partying in Manila is not the same as partying anywhere else, or like the food or something like that. But I mean, there's a lot of things that always, and it's great because there are these people who invest their time and their effort to make such experiences, to upgrade every experience in the Philippines. So that's great. Yeah.
Speaking of partying, is it a lot different partying in Singapore than it is here in Metro Manila? Like, which place is more fun? for
Ah,
you?
to be honest, it's I like the music scene better in the Philippines for sure, for sure.
Uh,
I mean,
well,
obviously there are some like festivals that happen here, like pero ganun din naman eh. Like in the Philippines, you have a lot of like concerts that happen, and even artists go to the Philippines more than they come like
mm,
more than Singapore because they have a bigger fan base, and of course, in terms of investment or ROI, the Philippines would be it. And but in terms of like party scene, like if you go to a bar in the Philippines, I enjoy the music much better. Like I don't know, or hip hop is just the selection of hip hop or the selection of the choices that I got for music. It's a whole lot better. Like it was such a thrill for me to actually shoot in Manila. So I had a shoot in Manila, and my first night, right away, I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go see my friends in some bar in where is that? Oh gosh, it's near Greenbelt. It's one of those like
Poblacion?
I've been to Poblacion, but not Poblacion. It's one of those houses that are turned into bars. Anyway, it's near Fairmont. So yeah, it's one of those. And then I went there, and then it was like a little cute place with a DJ, and I was with my friends. It was great. So it was so fun to work
you know, I
in.
remember Sarah I remember Sarah playing football as much as going out going out at night, having a few drinks with friends. Yeah, that's something like Sarah would do. I remember now. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Sarah. But it's been 7 years though, so I don't know how things have changed with you.
Do you still play football there?
Yeah. I was just telling Ron and Mikkel that I play with the Philippine Football Club here. So we do Saturday leagues. So we play every Saturday, but of course, because of the pandemic, no such thing. But after everything blows over, hopefully soon, we'll resume it. So it's every Saturdays, and then we would also play fun footy on Tuesdays with the guys. So, but
Mm.
no one beat the kind of guys that I had in Esteban.
I don't, I don't know if you remember this, Eric, but Sarah, she plays really hard, diba?
Di ba varsity
Oh, yeah.
na rin si Sarah sa UAAP ng futsal?
That would be the
How do
scene
you
by Sarah's
know?
smile.
One of my friends is watching, and he's from UANP. He said, varsity ng futsal yan dati.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nah.
yeah.
I'm shy tuloy.
Don't shy, be ahead. It's okay.
I remember that. And normally kayo tatlo ni Dalia and ni Kalay yun eh.
Kalay, hi Kalay. May baby na yun.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, kayong tatlo yun eh. And I would stay away from you guys. Seriously. Because natatakot ako when you guys attack. Or when I have the ball and okay, saan yun na yung bola.
Uy, si Galay yun. Tsaka si Dalia.
Ako takot ako kay Kalay.
Oo nga.
Hardcore.
Bibig ba lang yan, nakakatakot na.
Kaya pala may nagre-ring na telepono, si Ron may kausap. Pati mo tumawag na yung girlfriend ni Ron, pinapagalitan na siya.
Uy, ikaw talaga.
Ron, anong pinagsasabi mo dyan? Single ka?
Okay. So Sarah, 7 years, no? How now that you're there, no, and I'm pretty sure that you're raking in and stuff like that. Do you see yourself going back to the Philippines and finishing up work here, or what are your plans?
Actually, well, like I was telling Ron a while ago and Miguel,
Sorry,
like,
I'm late.
no, it's just like a setup. I guess I like having two homes. Na parang shuttle
Okay.
back and forth. Ganun eh, no? So siya, having two homes. No. I mean, like, but to answer your question, I think if I were to go back, it would be like I would, continue the business or start a business or just be in the business world. Or let's see if give me an offer I can't refuse. Joke.
Yeah, you get a job like pays you 8 times more than what you're getting.
I have to work up the ranks here, and then I'll go back and you know.
It would be it would be unbelievable if you came back because of the wealth of experience that you gained in Singapore. I mean, I'm sure companies here, like advertising agencies, would be dying to have you on board.
I wouldn't say. I don't know. But yeah.
If there are any advertising agencies watching tonight and are willing to match Tara's salary, come on. Bring back the talent. Come on, guys. Wag nang mahiya. Si Bixie ba? Tito Bix, baka nanonood ka. Tito Bix ba? Tito Bix ba? Kaya mo yung sweldo ni Sarah.
Bigay mo na ng sweldo mo, Bixie. Okay na.
Tito Bix ng bahala dyan.
Our side up, guys. Kung meron kang kapangyarihan na tanggalin ang anuman sa iyong kasaysayan, ano iyon at bakit? Sarah, you still understand Tagalog, right?
Of course. Or I speak that. So,
bro, ang lalim ng tanong na yun.
No, ano yun? Set up yun for our next topic. But, let's start with Sarah. Sarah, if there were something that you want to change about your life or your history, what would it be?
I think it's got to do with boys, para mga ex.
Feeling ko eh. Para feeling ko eh. Yung mukha ni Sarah parang biglang
she's trying to choose which one of these jackasses she's gonna name here on the show.
Next question, please, Just. No.
Boyabunda dito, Sarah. Sorry. Boyabunda kami dito.
No, vaguely it would be like the the past.
Okay.
Some of the past.
It's just like a boy thing. So tama kami, it's like a guy.
Yeah.
Is this about a guy, Sarah?
It doesn't have to be singular, but okay.
Guys.
Tama si Mikel.
Tama ako, see? I'm always right. Okay, kayong mga lalaki kayo yung gago kay Sarah. Mag-ingat kayo.
You know, Mikel, Sarah, Eric, what's been buried in all the talk about pandemic and the government and whatnot in the Philippines are actually the relationships. How are relationships nowadays? No?
Ron, napansin ko lang iba yung topic natin tonight. Parang may pinaghuhugutan ka tonight. Tapos nag-ring yung phone mo in the middle of the show. Parang may pinagdadaanan ka ron.
Oh, that was my sister calling because she's asking me if I can accompany her tomorrow.
Kasi parang normally sa yung mga tanong dito tungkol sa politics biglang naging sa past. Ewan ko nangyari sa... Ron, may na-bring up ba sa past mo na?
Ikaw nga, Ron, answer this question.
Oo nga, Ron, let's turn this table on you now.
It's funny that you turned the tables on me because, when I thought about the topic, I was really thinking about what I'm going to answer.
So what are you going to answer?
So napag-isipan mo na, ano yung sagot mo?
Boomerang. Wow.
Si Eric na nag-iisip, nakita ko sa face.
Actually, dami ko na naiisip eh.
Actually, maganda yung tanong eh. Kasi, sabi nila, you have to move on, right? You have to forget about the past, but that's not really the case most of the time, right? You tend to hold on to the past for whatever reason. And the best reason would be is because you want to learn from it and then you want to improve on things, right? Pero may iba kasi na talagang clingy. Like, I can't stand what I did. Huh?
Parang bubble gum lang yan. Pag dumikit, makabuang. Diba?
Sana naiintindihan mo yan? Makabuang. Makabuang.
Parang ano ba?
Nakakabaliw.
Nakakabuang. Got it. Yeah.
Sorry. Si Lawrence nabuhay in Alaska.
Lawrence, I'm so glad you're here. I was looking for you kanina pa. Tanong mo kay Ron.
Oo nga.
I'm worried when you're not watching, Lawrence. I'm worried.
Yeah. You feel like no one's watching if Lawrence is not watching. What's up with that,
I'm worried.
man?
I'm worried. I care for all our viewers. Thank you guys for watching us tonight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what, Sarah, siguro the one thing na medyo ano nga uli ano? Ayun na nga.
Sa kasaysayan mo. Hype the word pa talaga, kasaysayan.
Hindi ba pwedeng past?
Pwede naman sa nakaraan mo or sa kasaysayan.
Kasaysayan.
Siguro kung ano yung tatanggalin ko from the past, it would be the siguro procrastination. Like you're always like thinking, you know what, I'm enjoying myself so too much with what I'm doing. Even though you need to grow professionally, kailangan mo ring you need to think about like what you can do because we have our time is finite, diba? You know it's gonna end eventually. So I feel like there's a huge chunk in my 20s, I think, or early 30s, where I just did, you know, I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing. So sometimes I feel like I wasted time. Like, for example, Sarah, there was 2 years of my life that I can never take back where I just played Counter-Strike.
Oh, God.
Every night. You know, after work at the radio station, we would go to this place, like this computer shop in Capitolio, and then we would play Counter-Strike all night long until the wee hours of the morning. So that maybe perhaps is the talaga. I think, yeah, I gained some friends. You know, the camaraderie was great. Like what we it's probably similar to what it feels like when we play with our friends at Esteban. But pero, damn, man, I didn't really like. What did I gain out of that?
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you could have been a world champion or something in Counter-Strike, but
Counter-Strike world champion.
Yeah. You could have done
It's a video games, huh? The kids make so much money now from Fortnite and all these. They win.
That's
That's
true,
why
right?
I told my son to stop studying
yeah.
already. Just full-time Fortnite, man. I'll support your habit, man. Just let me know.
Sabi ni Suzy now, Ron, those were regrets na may natutunan din sa buhay.
Yan. Tama. Kasi ganyan talaga dapat.
Pero paano umabot sa ganun, no? I mean, no one even told me like, man, you're wasting so much time playing Counter-Strike. And I could say the same thing with like you know, my nephews probably like when they're in front of a computer the whole day, they're like playing like a video game or you know. And I'm like, man, I experience the same thing you're experiencing right now. You know, me in front of a computer like doing this.
But at least now you know that you should never take things for granted, right?
That's
Not for granted, but more like if you wanna do something better out of your time, then yeah. What about you, Michelle, Eric? Sorry?
Yeah, but
Eric, ikaw naman daw, Eric.
You seem like somebody who doesn't waste any time.
Si Sarah daw doesn't waste time.
I'm just, coasting.
Coasting.
Ways of life.
Not ready.
Ikaw, Eric,
Yeah.
iniisip ka na, Rick, medyo matagal rin yung contemplation mo kanina. Medyo you were like,
Ako?
anong tatanggalin mo sa sa iyong history?
Well, alam mo yun.
Kung biglang meron kang DeLorean kagaya ni
Tama yung sinabi ni Ron
Back to the Future, and then you
Ah,
have one chance to go back, what would you eliminate from the past?
I was going to say yung on how I handled finances. But yung sasagutin ko ngayon, now that I have a DeLorean, is hindi ako mag-early withdrawal. I didn't, ano ba yun? How am I going to say this? I invested in an IPO sa Double Dragon.
Ooh.
And I sold my shares early. I sold my shares early. Pero, 500% na ako, 550% na ako. I could have gotten more. I could have gotten more sa kung hindi ako nag-withdraw. So I could have been I could have been, if tama yung computation ko, I could have been 36 million pesos richer today.
Holy cow.
Oh,
Alam mo yun?
God damn, son!
Ni Eric,
So,
hindi na nag-vlog.
Ron, basta ang alam ko after tonight, what I learned is I can borrow money from Sarah and Eric.
Ang nangyari kasi noon, so nag-invest ako sa stock market, yun, you know, trying my luck, no? And then, nag-IPO si Double Dragon, di ba? Si Injap siya yan, di ba? With the owners of Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Silang dalawa gumawa sila ng Double Dragon. So sige, lagay ako ng pera, tapos lagay. Tapos nag-IPO at 2 pesos. And I sold at 11.50. So, okay na yun, di ba? Then, with that money, I was able to buy this condo. So I'm like, di ba? I mean, not full price. But, I mean, naka-bangko rin ito eh. Pero at least I had enough money to put as down payment and stuff, no? And set myself up here in this condo. Pero yung Double Dragon kasi, after like a month or two, umabot pa yun ng mga 80 pesos. Isipin mo, from 2 pesos, naging 80. And tapos bumaba siya, nag-dip siya kaagad. Agad, nag-dip siya to around 30, 20 pesos. And now it's hovering around that.
Is it still there? Double Dragon is still...
Yes.
Yeah. Lakas nila, actually. But yeah. So, sasabihin ko siya, how I manage my finances, ganun, kasi nagkautang ako, credit card debt, and stuff like that. So now that I have that DeLorean, yun ang gagawin ko. I will tell my past self na, hey, wag ka muna, don't sell. Diyan ka muna sa Makati Executive Suites, diyan ka muna.
Alam mo, Rick, pasalamat rin ako, Rick, na hindi natuloy yun, Rick, kasi kung sakasakali, baka yung background mo ngayon, puro sapatos.
Yeah.
Well, hindi rin siguro. I would have done a lot for the family, to be honest, and going to some businesses kasi, or yung farm namin sa Davao, mga ganun. I would have done that. Kasi, no? But, yun nga eh. So, ang sabi nga talaga nila sa when you invest money, like sa stock market and stuff like that, have a target and stick to that target. And yun, na-hit ko yung target ko eh. So, I withdrew. I sold my shares. Ganun. So, it's really like that eh. Just have a target.
Parang casino. Diba? You're not thinking I'm gonna play all night. You're gonna go, I just want to earn 10,000 pesos. And then once you hit...
Eric, a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. That's how you look at it.
Exactly, yes. So, yun lang.
You did well.
But then again, alam mo yun, sayang.
Yeah.
How about you? What's the deal?
No. I mean, everything that has happened in my life has contributed to who I am today. So I wouldn't change a thing. Everything that's happened, good or bad, may dahilan yan. No? If ever lang I would want to take some stuff back, it is anything that I did that could have hurt my parents or my wife. Yun lang. God, I'm really good at this.
You wrote it down and
guys, take note. Wait, is my wife watching? Sab, I hope you're watching. But yun lang. Those my only regrets is anything that could have caused undue hurt to my family and my wife in particular, diba? So, but other than that, everything else I've done good and bad. It's made me who I am. Look at me now. I'm a famous vlogger on Istoryang FutBolero.
Sab, if you're listening, Sab, well trained. See,
now I sell pretzels and all that. I'm happy. I can't complain, diba? So life is good. So if anybody who's watching, just remember that, these things that happen, you don't have to have many regrets. Though, if you make a mistake in life, it's only a mistake if you do it twice. So if you did it, you learn from it. Okay na, wag mo na ulitin, yun lang. So, kuwari si Eric, nabenta mo yung shares mo once, wag mo na ulitin yun. Next time, pag mag-IPO si Antian, hold on to the shares.
Yan. Abangan ko yan, ha? Insider trading tayo.
How I wish. But yun. Ayan, nasagot na namin Boy Abunda questions mo, Ron.
It's that I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. Para masyado na si Mikael kasi meron na siyang standard parang
No, but
politics,
Wednesdays is known as our lighter day naman eh. Normally Monday,
Yeah.
lalo na pag
Wednesday,
Friday,
diba?
pag guest ko si
Wednesday.
Orion and medyo intense. Dito, Wednesday is the chill out dates when we have people like Celine and Sarah.
Right.
Oh,
Next,
bless daw
next.
si Eric.
Oh, hashtag blessed yan si Eric. Tama ka, Susie.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
Sabi
blessed
niya?
yan. Si
Let's
Susie,
tell
may
Sarah.
comment din.
Si Sarah,
Sarah?
Sarah was a bit surprised when we mentioned something about Congress. So yung kagad niya yung tsura na parang, okay, that's happening.
What's happening?
It's a dark day.
You do know Alan Peter Cayetano is the Speaker of the House, right?
Sorry.
You do know that Alan Peter Cayetano is the Speaker of the House.
She does now. She does now.
She does now.
Now I do.
How do you do? But
First.
do you know him? Do you know him? Do you know Alan Peter Cayetano? Former Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is now a congressman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know them. Yes.
Whose
PF
wife is the mayor of
Okay.
Taguig, where you
She knows Pia.
and
She knows
you
Pia.
football in.
Sorry.
You know that his wife is like the mayor of Taguig, right? Tama ba si
Lanny.
Zilani is like the mayor of Taguig. It's only the place where you play football, like when we go to DC.
Because I just I'm very just like, oh, I have to go to this football pitch and that's it. The worst. I'm the worst.
But Ron, currently hindi si Lanny yung mayor. I think she's the congresswoman now.
Congresswoman ba? Oh yeah, of another district. Yeah, she used to be the mayor of Taguig. Sino na nga ngayon ang mayor ng Taguig?
Yung kapatid na isa. Si Lino.
Yeah, Lino.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember Lino. There was an incident in BGC where forget. Anyway, he was part of that. I think they reprimanded people for
Yung
not.
sa condo, di ba? For the early days of the pandemic, they were just swimming and stuff. Yeah.
Sarap ng buhay ni Sarah. I envy her some. Kahit pa paano ni Sarah because she doesn't have to.
My
deal with
oblivion.
things. You know, Sarah, even si Celine, I mentioned Celine to Sarah before because Celine worked in Singapore like more than 5 years too. I'm surprised that you didn't bump into each other in Singapore. Like, do Filipinos know each other in Singapore, or like do you actually like end up?
You'll be shocked because it's such a small city, but we rarely like see one another. Like, I have a lot of friends here. Although, I mean, you have your like usual crew, but you have other friends from wherever, and you don't really.
Yeah.
That happens to me too. Kasi you guys know Ramon, di ba? Si Razor Ramon.
Razor! Torba din yan.
Torba boy, di ba? Kapitbahay ko siya dito sa condo. And I've never seen him here.
Yeah.
Sa bagay, I know.
Nakikita ka niya pero umiiwas siya siguro.
Siguro.
Yeah, like the Cabinet Secretary Carlos Nograles used to live in my building before when I was staying in this condominium where the radio station was. But he lives there, but we rarely see each other. Maybe once in 5 years ago or 3 years. Can you believe that? Like you live in the same condominium and then you don't see each other at all.
Yeah.
Which is really weird, or maybe I'm just weird. It's probably just my.
Or maybe you've never left your condo, so like forever. Yeah.
Now I know why I didn't really, want to change lifestyle or change my career, because for like a long time there, almost 10 years, I was living in a condominium in the condominium where my office was. So I would like go down using the elevator, and then I would change elevator to go up to go to work.
Yeah. Do you still work in work there? Was it Sorry,
99.5 RT.
Yeah, that's the radio station that I used to work.
Yeah. So you're. I guess then you're not there anymore.
No,
So what
I'm
do you
now
do
a
now aside
public
from
servant.
Inspired? Sorry.
I'm now
He
a
works.
public
He works
servant.
for the government, Sarah.
Are you sure? Are you serious?
Sarah's laughing. Are you serious?
Part na ng Big Brother yan, Sarah. Part ng Big Brother yan si Ron.
Yeah.
Ron, ikwento mo naman sa viewers na, ano ba trabaho mo?
Ano ba trabaho mo?
Ako, alam nila, sa anti-ans ako. Si Eric sa insurance. Ikaw?
Oo.
Mo sa kampanya ng constitutional reform.
Yon.
Mm.
For Lawrence, para kay Lawrence.
Yeah. That's what I do. I help people understand what it's about, and I'm trying to convince like the
Okay.
public.
Okay.
Oh, I need Sarah because Sarah's in advertising. She would know all these concepts to convince people to do things, to do stuff.
To brainwash people to
Yung ano mo, Ron, yung yung manipulation.
Yeah. You're gonna talk about manipulation.
Oh, sabi ni Nielsen, obligar, paid trolls daw ang DDS.
Dapat yung topic mo, Ron, paano kung binan ng Facebook dito sa Pilipinas dahil ayaw na ni P-Doots?
Alam mo, ito talagang media, nakakatawa eh. I hope you don't mind, Sarah, no? We inject...
What's Sarah drinking? I'm jealous now. Ano yun?
Yeah, what's that, Sarah?
Juice, lemon juice.
Ay, hindi na pala ako jealous.
Bullet.
Kukuha na ako ng beer. Sige.
Kasi they've taken the president's pronouncements out of context. Now, if you read some of the broadsheets, their headlines are like, the president wants to ban Facebook or to remove Facebook from the Philippines because blah, 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 all these fake accounts were taken out. So that's how they're framing the narrative as far as the president is concerned. But the truth of the matter is the president only reacted because Facebook removed certain Facebook pages that are legit. They may have been put up by, let's say, the military or the police, but the reason why they're legit is because the grievances or the messages that are being placed there, or the people who are sending the messages are, parents of kids who are getting recruited by the Communist Party or the NPA. So, and we've seen the photos of these kids getting killed in battle. And, sayang, I mean, they graduated. They seem to be very smart kids. And then they end up like 6 feet under because they're fighting a fight that they don't fully understand. And they have like a guy who's supposed to be their leader enjoying his exile in the Netherlands. So he's like doing a rebellion using remote control. Yun lang. I mean, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that people missed out, and why the president got upset with Facebook, and he said, "We need to talk. We need to talk about this because it's not fair, right?"
I'll be happy once they remove Facebook.
Really, Miguel? You need that?
Yeah.
But on Facebook right now.
Yeah, but this takes up way too much time. It's full of negativity, people fighting. It's so stupid. It's just I miss life without it. Don't get me wrong. For our business, like for Antians, we advertise almost solely on Facebook. But really, other than that, it's just I miss the days where we were just all cool. We didn't give a shit what anybody thought about the political beliefs. We didn't fight, and we weren't being manipulated by certain people. That's it. And I wish that there was a way to be, let's say, socially responsible and use Facebook better. But we just know it's like an addiction. It's like I know how many people that, like me, I do a social media detox, and then I'm back on it after 2 weeks with a vengeance. It's the same thing. And my justification also, I'm doing it for work because I have to do the anti-ant stuff. But then eventually you get drawn into like, oh my god, what's this stupidity? And then anyway, it's just that. So, but like I told you in the show the other day, the kids now, the younger kids, like my son, he doesn't want to do Facebook. because they associate it with old people like us just bickering about politics and hating on each other. They'd rather do the stupid TikTok and Instagram stories and whatever. Diba? In many ways, they complain about TikTok and how that makes it stupid, but mas okay pa TikTok eh.
Yeah.
Mas okay pa TikTok. I'd rather dance like an idiot than fight about politics.
Sabi ko nga,
diba?
Si Hi sis to Saki.
I mean, lagi ko nga sinasabi. Para sabi.
Sabi, yeah, I agree. Better shut down FB. All right.
Well, ito lang. Facebook, maganda naman talaga na platform yan, no? To connect to people, gano'n, and stuff like that. But it's just being weaponized right now by both parties and everyone else, no? And it's really sad. Kaya nga sinasabi ko nga, throughout the world, right? So, ang sinasabi ko nga is, kung gusto mo ma-stress, log on to Facebook. And mas-stress ka talaga for sure.
Yeah.
Right? But I am actually getting better. Yeah, I'm actually getting better now because I only average, for the past 7 days, 35 minutes on Facebook.
Teach me how, Sensei. Teach me how.
I just don't log in. Kung meron lang notifications, I read it and I'll respond to it, and that's it. Labas.
Yeah, well, but tama si Lawrence, like people like me, like for business kasi Facebook is such a useful tool for reaching markets. It's cheaper than all this other advertising stuff that we've been doing for years, no? And that's one part I would definitely miss. It's just that I wish that there was a way to better control and limit this whole Facebook madness. I miss the days of Multiply when you just posted your picture. Friendster. Yung mga chat lang, mga ICQ, IRC,
patesting naman, patesting.
ASL, mga ganyan.
Nabutan ba ni Sarah yung Friendster? Multiply?
I started with Friendster. Started with Friendster, then Multiply.
See, those are the days, but it's just it's a bit of a, like what Eric said, it's so weaponized now by everybody across the globe. And it's like even now on with the issue of the pages being taken down, what we always ask demand for everybody is just fairness. If you're gonna do this, do it right across the platform. Be fair. Currently, it seems like it's unfair. Only certain sites are being taken down, while others that you could see are also fake aren't. Who decides? No, it's like even the whole issue with Trump before the issue. But remember, Twitter took a stand and decided to censor some of what Donald Trump was saying. They put warnings on it. Whereas Facebook refused to do it because they said, yeah, this is your platform, you should be free. But then all of a sudden here, they're taking a stand. Parang labo, diba? But bakit sa iba, okay lang. Then dito, certain, from one side, no?
If you're looking at Sarah's face right now, there's like a hint there that she knows something that we don't know about. She's like,
I'm just like, no. It's I'm just
Sarah, I mean,
she works for Mark Zuckerberg. We just don't know it.
Spying here, joke.
But we are on Facebook, so he is spying on us for sure right now.
I want to not dig deeper, but we have some material that we can look into. You go to Netflix, you have like a documentary about social media. There's like a new one that's
Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma has been getting a lot of press because of what it's saying. And Sarah, being in advertising, understands the power of social media. And I just wanted to bring this up to Sarah because before traditional media was the king. Like advertisers, when they do a media plan, majority of their budget goes to radio, TV, right? Magazines or newspapers. But now, Sarah, it's sort of like, has it reached a point where it's already tipped to social media, like what they call advertising?
Yeah. It's literally, we're quickly getting into the Black Mirror sort of world. Like we talk about it, like when we're doing our campaigns and stuff. We talk to the media people, we talk to everybody. And whenever we talk about work, we don't realize that we are actually talking about how we will manipulate the audience, basically. How we will tap them or talk to them in all the different platforms and all the different touch points in their every waking day of their lives. So it's like, if you skip me, don't worry, I have something else that I'm going to share with you. If you don't skip me, great. Here's another. I'm going to remind you what you saw a while ago so that you don't forget. So it's really like, or the moment you have a great day or a bad day, we know it. So the media people know it. And let's say I'm, searching for something, bam, that's why you get all these recommendations or suggestions.
I don't understand why all these crazy things pop up on my search stuff. I don't know that. I've never
Like
looked at all these
porn stuff?
mga...
Like,
Yeah, it's so weird. Even sa Lazada, bro. Sa Lazada, yung mga binibenta sa akin, nagugulat ako eh.
Sometimes
everything-
like it just
Yeah,
comes
so
out.
the AI is reading your mind. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
That's why my phone is listening to me. When I'm
Exactly.
when I'm talking, it's taking down notes.
Literally.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
yeah, Sarah, I just wanna you touch upon I just wanna like add to what you just said, no, kasi even like going back to the documentary on Netflix, Social Dilemma, they actually interviewed some of the engineers who created Facebook, Twitter, and all these social media platforms, and they had one thing in common. They were saying that their mindset was like the same as Sarah was saying earlier. When you have meetings in a boardroom, and when you have all these advertisers, all they think about is, how do I get this person to do this,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the engineers who develop all these platforms thought of it the same way. Like, how am I going to make, like, even the scrolling of your screen when you do that, when you swipe, there's like a psychological they actually thought about that, like how it affects you psychologically when you do this. And then before you know it, you've been spending an hour doing this. Because just the action, how your brain works, it makes sense when you're doing all these things, when you choose, right?
Like, basically you have no escape. It's the whole thing. It's and again, we don't realize it because we just have a goal and objective, and we're selling shampoos, we're selling this, we're selling medicine, and they always talk about thumb stopping power. Like, what in the first 5 seconds, what are we going to tell them? What are we going to show them? And it's not really the same as when you put it out in TV, because in TV, like, you're probably just waiting for the commercial to end so you can watch your thing.
Yes.
And you have no choice. Either you move to another channel or whatever, or you just stick it out and you'll see it anyway. So we can tell you the story however traditionally we want to tell you the story. But on digital, it's not the same, because people have the power, as they think they do have it. We think we have the power, but basically it's and that's exactly what we want to communicate to what we want people to think, is that they have the option, they can choose. But in that 5 seconds that you're waiting for the video that you want to watch on YouTube, you're itching to skip that button. In that 5 seconds, we are going to tell you something that will catch your attention, or we will, at least the successful one, in those 5 seconds before you skip. And if it's not a skippable ad, then we tell you, we take our time, but also we get you wherever you are, pretty much. If you're the person that we want to talk to, if you're the person that we want to, exactly. It's literally, it's how it is.
You know
Can I
what's
say,
fun?
Sarah, the latest thing that upsets me the most now, YouTube ads.
Yeah, exactly.
Non-stop YouTube ads. Like, I'm in the middle of following some workout, right? Like, I'm dying. Then all of a sudden there's an ad, like, God bless. And then there's another ad, like a few seconds. And nothing makes me not want to buy a product more than the bloody ad that interrupted my YouTube video. But but Sarah said, there's a science to it. They know you're gonna skip it.
Yeah. The thing is, in the beginning, when ads like all of a sudden pop out when you watch like videos on Facebook, like when you watch content, then bigla na lang one day they started like having advertising popping out of the videos that you watch. At first, you were annoyed, like, "What the hell is this?" Right?
Yeah.
And then now, after like you don't even notice, but it's become like part of watching a video.
Yeah.
Right? It's not annoying anymore. It's like, okay, whatever.
Hate it. I hate it. I
But
hate it. YouTube ads.
but there are some ads though that you actually stick out and watch, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. Or maybe I'm just the geek. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's some, but like like every year, Sarah, like in the Super Bowl, everybody looks forward to the ads of the Super Bowl. That's like the big day for marketing. Like, wow, and like for me, that's the one time of the year I'm actually looking forward to ads. And I've always used to like American ads because it was really like a whole different thing to what we had here. Here, typically, sometimes I'm an endorser doing some cheesy commercial for laundry soap or whatever. Whereas the American ads, there's a lot of humor in it.
Yeah.
And I'm a comedy guy, so I love those kinds of ads. But the rest of it, like, but then there's some ads, yung mga jingles na nung bata pa tayo ron, hanggang ngayon, alam pa rin natin yung mga jingles. Those are like
YC
the
Bikini
best.
Beef?
YC Bikini, Seiko Wallet, yung mga ganyan, di ba?
Tsaka yung
Alin, Rick?
Sorry, Rick.
Nips, you wanna see what happens in the bag of nips? I love that song.
You know what's another ad that you can't forget? Wendy's used to be.
Oo nga.
Wendy's
When you're hungry,
this is the
place to be.
wala
Those are classics, and you don't forget.
Yeah, exactly.
Kasi ulit siya. And if you've been to Mindanao, Ron, I'm pretty sure you've been to Cagayan de Oro and back, no, Davao and stuff like that. There's this hotel in Cagayan na may jingle sila. Alam mo yun? Yung Cagayan Park Hotel. People stay in Cagayan Park. Bay. Kasi I spent 2 years of my college life in Cagayan de Oro. Right? So I would take the bus to and fro every weekend sa Davao. Pinapauwi ng mom ko every weekend when I was first there. Pucha yung jingle niya, the whole bus ride. 6 hours. Ulit.
Alam mo, Sarah knows this. There's a science behind radio ads, ha? Kasi yung repetition kasi is the essential, tawag nito, the most essential aspect of a radio ad. Like, when it's repeated over and over, even if you hate the commercial, you hate the jingle.
But it sticks.
It sticks, right? It sticks. That's how the brain works. Like, if a message is being repeated over and over, like, you see mo 10 times, 10 times a day, you hear it. That's
exactly.
What the advertisers live for. Like, you actually getting affected by what they create. Sarah, merong dito may question dito si Lauren. Sabi niya, why bother putting ads on YouTube if they know that they will end up clicking the skip ad button anyway? So, anong rationale na sa Sarah? Like,
probably also, what are the statistics on a skip ad advertisement?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure people really watch the whole thing and click to that ad or something like that.
So,
is there data?
Yeah. So actually, Google and me, like the analytics. So when did people skip? At what point in your ad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They know exactly, where it's happening and how it's happening. But to answer Lawrence's question about why even bother, so YouTube gives you options, skippable and unskippable. So I think unskippable ads would be more expensive, while skippable ads, I think, I am not sure.
Yeah, it is.
But the thing is, like, regardless if they skip you or not skip you, it's still a good place to talk or to target people, because yun nga, again, like you are searching content that you want to see. And you're not just there flicking whatever. You are searching for it. You know exactly what you want to see. So you're there and you're invested and you want to see it. So obviously, we will talk to you. And it's not going to be random, of course. Like, you fit the profile, you fit
Oh,
the demographic,
right.
you fit the interests. So let's say we identify Ron. Ron likes this. Ron likes that. This. If he watches sports stuff, we will be there. Or if he watches something that's related to us, like for example, if since I'm working on Pantene, if it's related to, for example, new shampoo for men, and I want to talk to men who like exactly Michelle, manly men who want to take care of their hair, who love watching sports. Every time Mikel or Ron or Eric search for, let's say, Arsenal, I'm gonna put a Pantene for Men shampoo spot right there.
Hindi ako nagsabi nung Arsenal, Mikel. I didn't start.
Sarah's allowed. You're not, Ron.
Yeah.
Sarah, thanks for explaining, because this really explains why all these penis enlargement ads keep coming out on my feed recently. I need to be more discerning and careful.
Mindful of what you know.
This is why I've invested in a VPN already recently. I'm trying to.
Pero you know what's scary? These people who develop all these platforms, they themselves are saying that the AI that's involved in all of these social media platforms are getting smarter and smarter. And the ones who invented them or who programmed them or who created the algorithm for it, they themselves don't understand why it's happening the way it does.
Wow.
It has gone beyond their comprehension, that the way the AIs are actually, doing what they're doing now in our social media platforms. So yes, that thing that we are scared about when we watched The Terminator, that's gonna happen.
Skynet.
Robots are gonna take over.
Right? I mean, slowly these AIs are gonna are gonna do some mind control, like really big time mind control, and you won't even recognize or notice that they've been, hypnotizing you or like making you do things. Diba?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, most of the ads are medyo annoying. Yung nga, sabi nga ni Miguel, parang storbo siya. When you're watching something and you're trying to be attentive to what you're watching, tapos biglang may pop up. But some of them are actually useful. Some of them, no. An example lang. I was playing this game sa PlayStation, and I was trying to look for walkthroughs, no, kung paano ba, how do I defeat this boss or something like that. Tapos may ad na lumabas about this game on the mobile platform naman. So parang hassle naman nito. Tapos skip. Tapos after a while, sige nga, panorin ko nga to. Ano ba to? Something like that. So I was able to watch the whole thing. I got interested. I downloaded the game and now I'm still playing it.
See, that was all planned, Eric. They had this all planned. They knew exactly what you were going to do.
Yep.
It's so scary.
It's literally it's a campaign plan. It's a media plan.
But that's why if it was me, if I were making the YouTube ad, the video, I won't make it na 30 seconds. 5 seconds na lang, kasi alam mo naman after 5 seconds, skip na nila.
What can you do with 5 seconds, Sarah? I mean, when you
just shout the name of the product as many times as you can in 5 seconds. That's all you have to do. Anybody watching this tonight? Pretzels. So tomorrow you're gonna go buy pretzels. Ganyan.
Actually, that is we do have a 6-seconder. We call them bumper ads. So obviously,
I'm onto something here, guys.
But I don't know. First, we always want to still communicate, because again, like that's what we tell our clients all the time. It's like, Ano ba, you just want to see your brand here. Let's just plaster your brand in dead center. That's it. But obviously, you want people to engage with you more than remember you only. You like, for example, when you watch Nike ads, you feel certain things. You become invested in it in a way that you believe in what they're saying. That's why you're very
That's so
much
true, Sarah, because the latest Nike ad, the one for the pandemic, everybody was sharing it like, oh my god, this
exactly.
tugged at my heartstrings. And then it just makes you forget for a split second that they do child labor and all this stuff. The reason your spikes and shoes are so cheap is because some
Exactly.
kid
That's why I buy
but
Adidas.
it makes you forget because they know exactly how to tug at your heartstrings and say, okay, diba?
Yes,
Exactly.
same thing with
But like
Jollibee, right? Or
yeah,
McDonald's.
and Attorney McCoy said like the new Jollibee ad, especially now in the pandemic, because people are having to find these kinds of ads that will, resonate with the people who are stuck at home,
Yeah.
scared, worried about buying food or
They,
whatnot.
they
Diba? So
call
you
it
have to
the
do that.
Hugot ads, Mikael. The
Yeah,
Hugot,
and who good
But
ads.
I
right?
mean,
Yeah,
Galing,
solid,
galing.
solid Jollibee.
at
Sarah,
the
you were
same
saying.
time, sorry. I mean, at the same time, you don't want to be. We also tell ourselves that we don't want to be like the brands who would say in these unprecedented times, blah blah blah, or in these da da da. You just try to get people to feel things or love you because you're saying that, hey guys, we're here, but we're still selling you the same shit that we are selling you. So it's like we're not really helping you. We're just saying stuff that are nice that you want to hear. So we don't want to be like that as well. We kind of want to do something different, man.
Yeah, I want to find out more about that, Sarah, because usually what happens in advertising or even in the entertainment business, what often happens is that when something works, everybody follows. Like
Exactly.
it becomes the template, right?
Yes. Yeah. You have
Like
the soft dramatic piano playing in the background, and
yeah. Another example, Sarah, like because everybody's using Zoom right now, right? And then people are using PowerPoint. And when you look at the PowerPoint, when you look at the graphics that they use for their social media cards, they're all just they look the same. the the
exactly.
the minimalist template where you look at the fonts, it's almost they look similar. Even the color scheme is the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
I don't even notice that, Sarah. Like because you're advertising, like isn't that
Yeah.
something?
I mean, we do want to change it. Like, of course, when everyone does the same thing, and you kind of you can't tell one from the other anymore because they're all looking and sounding the same. So of
Yes.
course, we want to be different. We did something like we did a few short videos, like digital videos for Pantene during the pandemic,
Mm.
and they were not at all sappy or sad or tear jerky. One of them is like about how when you're on Zoom calls, sometimes you're not hair ready. Like when you want to on
Right.
video, but
Right.
oh my god, your hair is messy, so you have to use this quick conditioner with Pantene, and then you're done. Or if you're stuck at home, then there's a lot of hair on the floor because you're pretty much spending 90% of your time at home. So what's the best weapon against hair fall? It's not your vacuum cleaner, it's your but we did it in a way that it's like choose your weapon kind. So it's like this girl who's like in those the combat games, like the Street Fighters,
Yeah.
uh to choose your weapon. So she's just
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. I can see this.
standing there, and then you choose like ding, Wallace or ding, so, and then the best weapon is Pantene, of course. Fun, without being too, or we're gonna promise hope that hope is gonna come one day, but
Yeah.
no, it's more like, okay, how do we deal with now? Let's deal with now. So yeah.
It's kind of surprising because advertising is like an industry where creativity is such an important ingredient in all when creating content, right? But it would seem like most people who work for the advertising agency, it becomes sort of like a homogenous type of activity because everyone's looking at each other and then they're going, "Hey, that works. maybe we should do the same thing, right? So it's kinda, for the last 2 decades, I think it's like they're doing the same thing without even noticing, probably perhaps, that they're doing the same thing. And maybe the challenge there is like, what else can we do that's different?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool though. Like Pantene is like always like thinking outside of the box. So
Shampoo ko yan, guys. Shampoo ko yan. So gumagana yan. Lalo na yung anti-hair fall.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know, Sarah, if this is also part of your campaigns. But one thing I think that really works, really is when they actually place a let's say a product in a scene in a movie, or right, and then they don't say anything. Like, you know, these actors like wearing the Ray-Ban aviators, right? Or like, and all of a sudden, like everybody wants to buy aviator glasses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
up to
the
now,
Tom
people still
Ford.
remember aviators for Top Gun, and
Yep.
Ray-Ban has gained so much prominence because of that. So that's like brilliant because it's timeless, like that, the way they did it.
You're not talking about how John Lloyd just casually mentioned biogesic in Margins. He was like, ano sa ulo mo? Ba't di ka mag-biogesic? Biogesic ka. You know?
Ganun lang yun. But the Philippines kasi, Sarah, I lived in England for so long, no, but I found that here is where they leverage so much on celebrity endorsements. Like everything here, celebrity. Like, you know, there kasi a lot of the ads, you don't know the people. It's just a funny ad or the substance is there. But here, talagang they need endorsements. Every billboard, everything is some famous person. But it's not like I only tend to experience it here instead of in other places. But in Thailand, maybe in Korea now. But before the ads weren't like that, and now, but it's all celebrity centered.
No, it's so true. I mean, I was working on Panadol for like 5 years and doing like stuff for different markets, for different countries. And the number one rule of Panadol was never to use celebrities. So we always used real people. And it was great because at least, I mean, not real people, but like people who act, like people who act in commercials. And at least you focus on the story, you focus on making it like a good film. But the one exception to that rule is the Philippines.
Diba?
Palpol is GSK. And we had to use a celebrity because that was the clients have you know, but globally Panadol was like, we are not using celebrities at all.
Well, here, kailangan lahat celebrity. And it's so expensive pa naman, like just to get them to post on IG or like for Antians, we simply can't afford it. And we wouldn't dream of it. But then I know other brands that they really like, wow, sila Dunkin' Donuts now, si Derek Ramsey, diba? Si Ding Dong Dantes. How much do they pay for those ads for sure, diba?
Exactly. Well, you don't need celebrities, Mikkel. Like your pretzels. Your pretzels sell themselves, you know.
Thank you. Pero kung may kilala kayo celebrity na gustong tumulong sa Antians, thank you. Ang perfect si Ann Curtis kasi Ann na yung pangalan eh. Pero hindi ko afford. Kahit 5 seconds lang time ni Ann Curtis, di ko afford.
Anywho, it's already 10:18. Tapos
kawawa naman si Sarah, may trabaho pa yun bukas sa Singapore. Dito natin mga slacker dito sa...
Sarah, in the beginning, she was very shy about guesting on Istoryang FutBolero.
No, because, you know, minutes before the show, and I'm like, you know, doing stuff. I'm working or I'm outside, you know.
I'm prepared. Just prepare. Sarah, I just want you to know, and all the viewers, I just want you guys to know, just in case you're worried. Ron normally lets us know the topic of the show about 5 to 10 minutes before we start. So, hindi kami scripted, guys. Okay, yun lang. Gusto ko malaman na wala kaming, nobody influences us. It's just a group of friends discussing stuff. But seryoso yan, mapakita namin yung proof ni Eric mga 5 to 10 minutes before the show. Guys, itong topic natin. Okay, game.
Tapos, hindi rin namin alam kung sino yung mag-guest.
Oh,
Kung kami lang ba, kung dalawa lang kami ni Ron, may kasama ba? Hindi rin na. 5 to 10 minutes before, tama yung sinabi ni Mikel.
Yeah, so hindi kami paid, hindi kami scripted. We do this for the love and just to just have fun and all that. So we appreciate guests like you, Sarah, for coming because otherwise it would just be us. And we need all kasi na-accuse na tayo ron ng mga tawag to propaganda na daw tong show natin.
Tsaka sawa na rin kami sa isa't isa kaya share talaga pag guest.
Getting to know you na kayo. So
dati guest lang ako dito sa hindi ko alam nangyari, nandito na ako. But it's only because full disclosure, I'm trying to be like James Deacon and Sam YG. Okay, guys. Okay.
You have a bright future ahead of you.
So far, nothing's been happening. Ilan months Rick, di ba you used to count how many episodes do we have?
I lost count. Honestly, I lost count. The last time I was able to do that was about 3 weeks ago. Nasa 40th episode na tayo somewhere.
We're still going. We haven't been censored yet. So, good job, Ron, for coming up with the idea, and Eric and all the guys. And we miss people like John D.
Si John D kasi the designated voice of reason. Siya yung ating yung medyo naging pillar when it comes to substance.
Nga.
Wala si John G. It was like, free for all.
What's going on here? But Sarah, talaga.
Bye.
Nawala si Sarah. Ayun.
Ayan.
Sorry.
Sarah, what did we say? I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry.
I accidentally touched the touchpad. Sorry.
Sarah, by the way, I really like that painting there in the back. That's so nice.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say also, is that a hummingbird or?
No, it's a lady.
It's a Darth Vader Amidala.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ganda.
Interesting.
Nag-MTV Cribs na kami dito. MTV Cribs. That's really nice.
Oh, those are my soft toys, yes.
And is that the guitar, ukulele, or what?
I do play the ukulele.
Oh, nice. Sample naman din next time.
Plus, joke, I'm not going to do that.
Here's the bonus question for Sarah.
Uh-oh.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done when no one's looking?
Wow, talagang nag-boyabunda levels.
It happens all the time at home because you're alone.
Well, the thing is, if I do any of that, I will have to close my
your window.
My curtains. No, because here you can't walk around naked. I mean, like you can't be caught walking around naked in your own.
This is why I haven't moved to Singapore. I was trying to remember why I have not moved to Singapore. I've just remembered it now.
That was literally the one thing that was stopping me.
Really?
This is a deal breaker, Sarah. Deal breaker.
That is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But Sarah, it's like Singapore is so nice, but it's like, I mean, in our minds, because when we were younger, it's so strict. Everything about Singapore is strict. Like even the gum. I remember when I went to Gothia Cup when I was 13. We did a stopover. Our flight stopped over in Singapore, and one of the shirts I bought it just said everything is not. It's like illegal in Singapore, like chewing gum, throwing stuff, and that stuck with me for so long. So when I was older, somebody said to me, "Oh, let's go to Singapore." I was like, "Oh my God, no, that's so scary there." And then when I finally went, it's like, "Oh, it's just they're disciplined. They're not petrified. They're disciplined. They know how to follow, and it's really really nice." So if any of you haven't visited Singapore, once the pandemic is over, I highly suggest. It's so nice. The people are nice. The food is good. It's so small. You can travel from one end to the other. Universal Studios, Sentosa, lahat ganda dyan.
Yeah, I can be the tour guide. I've toured.
Yeah.
Sarah. Well,
you definitely should come. No, but actually, if all of this, if things settle down and things, I wouldn't say go back to normal, but more like if we can do things again. Normally, like I even organized the football game with my friends who from Manila. So they
Nice.
came here and I organized a football session. We blocked or rented this pitch and then we played there. It was fun. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like you can have fun. You don't really have to go crazy or do illegal things to have fun, really. So it's up to you, you know. It's like what you if you run around naked, obviously you're gonna get caught, or
Told you, deal breaker, deal breaker.
or if you pee on the wall, of course you can't do that. So it's like
But it's just so nice. It's so clean. It's so organized. And
yeah,
like when I was there, like for my son's football, I would just take an Uber everywhere, Grab. It was just so easy. You
yeah,
didn't have to worry about anything. It would drive you there. The drivers were so nice.
yeah,
You can just walk around at night. It's not an issue. It's just
exactly.
so much fun. I love Singapore. It's one of the nicest places in Asia for me. That and Japan, obviously, but
Oh, of course, yeah.
Singapore is beautiful. Lovely food pa. Sarap ng pagkain dyan.
Yeah. I mean, peace of mind. That's pretty much what I like. You know, you can
Don't
walk
worry,
around.
Sarah, we're going to take you up on that offer you just made.
Yes, I'm gonna stock up my bar. Just
Yeah, none of this juice stuff, Sarah. What's this juice?
and actually, I need to top up. So I need to top up on my juice. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, so it's time for us to do the. No, we don't have the. I was supposed to do the pasaway for the day. Sarah, we have a segment here, pasaway for the day, where we show a picture of someone who's doing something that they're not supposed to do, and then we just make fun of it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take a picture of this place I went to earlier, and I was looking at a few cars earlier, like secondhand cars, and the guys who were in charge of that, empty lot, they were not wearing any mask.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was like, do I take a picture or?
Pero ang dami pa rin pasaway. Yung building dyan sa tabi namin, yung pasaway of the day mo last Monday, hanggang ngayon, pasaway of the day pa rin.
Why?
No, it's a construction site, so they have a barracks in the back. So you're supposed to be, even if it's a barracks, you're supposed to have social distancing and masks and stuff, and control people in and out. But they just have parties there. You watch the construction guys; it's nonstop parties. So anyway, they had an all-day videoke party and also the other day. So anyway, we shall live with it.
Miguel, that's not. It's not unique to your area, though.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of complaints also.
You go to certain places here in Metro Manila, you'll see people who are not wearing masks, who don't even care.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most of the people do it. It's just that there are, but like I always say, even in Santians, we explain to our team members, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if most of us are doing it, but there's still people going around there freely, and they could be the ones spreading it, and it will just never end, no? But if we all did our part, we'll just be over with this sooner rather than later. Mahirap din kasi, Ron, sometimes they see the cases going down, and then all of a sudden, okay na, party na. But then it spikes up again, like we've seen across Europe and other places. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're getting better, which is good. Pero sundan nyo pa rin yung mga sinasabi ni Ron, the Bida Disciplina campaign, all of that, diba?
Yes. Sarah definitely can give us some good input. How do we condition minds?
Yeah, I mean, just you just have to apply the communistic. No, I'm just kidding.
See, Sarah, even for the Department of Health's campaign to get people to wear masks and everything, they had to use celebrity endorsers too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kasi yung mga, yung mga ibang tao na they really need like to see their idols doing it before they do it themselves. Kasi even if you tell them all the most logical things, reasoning, it doesn't work.
Even the fear of death is not enough for them to say, put my mask. But si Alden naka-mask, game tayo dyan.
It's kind of sad. Yeah, but
I dream of the day we can be like Singapore one day. We'll get there, Pinas. We'll get there.
And you question why we vote idiots to office. because
naman.
Hindi naman.
Sinong idiots dyan? Yung mga nag-aaway lang dyan sa Congress.
Tsaka yung nagsumasayo ng budots. Yun.
Oh.
Wow, diba? You want to
House-
win a seat in the Senate? Dance the budots, budots.
See, that is good marketing. That's all I'm gonna say. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
good marketing.
Very good marketing.
Watching with entertainment. It's always
Diba?
the way to go.
Sarah, if you get like older, 10 years from now or 20 years from now, would you ever consider becoming a PR person for a politician when you come back here in the Philippines? Is that something you would consider?
I would steer clear from that life. I think. I mean, unless that
They
person
pay
is
well. They can pay you
Yeah.
10 times what you're earning in Singapore.
yeah. No, they pay you, but they pay. Oh, never mind.
Tainted
Okay.
money. That's tainted money.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I mean,
And they pay late.
They pay-
Rick, parang speaking from experience tayo dyan.
okay.
Parang may konting ano doon, Rick. Ha?
Parang may utang pa sa'yo, ah.
Well, it is known that government agencies they don't pay on time. It is known
Who are you talking to?
in any industry, whether it's advertising, whether it's insurance, whether it's construction, whatever, man. I mean,
Maybe
they
because
don't
there's
pay on
just
time.
so many hoops to go through to pay and audit
Yeah,
and
Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That's
red tape and stuff.
Red tape,
Yeah.
yeah.
crazy.
Commissions, kaltas muna.
Yep,
Yeah,
ganun talaga.
yeah,
Pero
so,
hindi sa department ni Ron, sa DILG, walang ganyan, bro. Si Ron can vouch for that. Solid
cool
sila.
mga tao doon.
Yeah.
Ano lang, overworked.
Ay,
Walang
thank you pala sa DILG na nag-order ng sangkatutak na pretzels from our Gateway branch.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, yay.
All right, guys, let's do the big takeaway. I know we said that we're going to talk about the change change of leadership in Congress. Si Congressman Velasco will be taking over. I think starting October 1.
But
Because-
that's if he gets the votes, diba?
That's if he gets the votes. So there's still wrangling, going on in Congress. You know how it works, right? Obviously, one would want to stay longer, and the other have been waiting for a long time now just to get his chance. So those two things are actually happening right now. Not that it concerns Sarah because she's just enjoying herself in Singapore.
I'm actually wondering if it concerns me as well.
You know what? Yeah. Come to think of it, I mean, either way, they're all trying to pander to get some plus points from the president because they're going to be running for office in 2022 and they want to be under that banner because of the president's popularity, right? So I think they're just going to try to use this opportunity so that they can be noticed for a national position, perhaps. By 2022. So we leave it there. We leave the politics there because Sarah, we enjoy our conversation too
Breath
much.
of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. Let's start with Eric here. What's your big takeaway having this chit chat with our very own Sarah FutBolero?
Well, so first of all, Sarah, thank you for being here, and we miss you. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah. Dude,
and
the only woman I know, girl I know, when playing football, tackles you hard and smiles.
No.
That's what I said, man. I stay away from these girls.
Oh. I'm so nice.
Damn. Okay yan. Mabait yan si Sarah. Mabait yan. Tsaka, cool yan kalaro. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess my big takeaway here is we decide what type of content we consume, online on social media, and the ads are there to stay. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. It's just going to get better and better. The algorithm is going to get smarter and smarter, and it will come to a point, hopefully, na you will only get to see like 80% of the ads that you like. Ganun na siya ka-smart, no? And I guess, then again, kaya nga may skip ad button dyan, is you really have the option to skip it. Para bigyan ka ng option, hindi ka pipilitin na
Yeah.
panorin mo to, di ba? Ganun.
Yeah.
So, it's really a choice, no, on what you want to consume. And basically, what Sarah is doing, no, it is an industry, it's needed, people need to sell their products, and people need to buy products, right? So, without ads, hindi ko makikita yung game na nilalaro ko ngayon. Mga ganun, di ba? And stuff like that. No? I mean, for me, it number one, this game keeps me away from Facebook, so I'm less stressed right now. And number two, it also keeps me away from Shopee and Lazada. So, nakakatipid ako. Diba?
Wala ka ng Rick, si Sarah yung behind that advertising for that game.
Oh, di ba? So, but yeah, I mean, it's really that, no? I mean, tayo as consumers, we do have a choice. Just make sure that you make the right choices when you consume content, when you consume products as well, and just be responsible with the stuff that you do. And that's basically my biggest takeaway for tonight.
Thanks, Papa Eric. Cool. Miguel.
Me also, thank you, Sarah. It was nice to meet you. Thanks for sharing some about your life in Singapore and how you transitioned there. I'm sure some of our viewers, because we have a lot of viewers also who are watching from overseas.
Yeah.
So, they can relate to that. And just, I guess, an opportunity to say thank you to all the people who watch us tonight. And special thanks also to all the OFWs across the world who are there doing their jobs and working hard and representing the Philippines. Whether you're OFW or not, you're just working abroad. Thank you for representing the Philippines in the good capacity, making us look good. So people like Sarah, obviously very smart, good exports to the outside world. That's why people like me were sent away from England and back to the Philippines. No, but yeah, so yun lang, thank you. And just a reminder to everybody, please to follow all the protocols, like what we said earlier, for safety. We're not yet out of the woods. It's still there. We all want this to be over with, promise. Konting taste na lang. I'm sure we all want to go back to our lives. All of us want to play football again, see our relatives, and do all this stuff. So please, let's all help each other. And then the last request, like I always say, is let's stop fighting about politics, guys. It's not worth it. We're all Filipinos here. We all want what's best for the country. Don't lose friends and family because of differences in political beliefs. If it's really bothering you, just turn off your Facebook. I'm sure you'll live a better life. You'll be happy. Just download the game that Eric's playing. He can tell you. Maybe it reminds you. But whatever. But yun lang. Nag-post ako, wag tayo mag-aaway about politics. It's just not worth it. Yun lang. Thanks, guys. Be nice. Peace, love, and togetherness, y'all. That's all. And thank you again, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Miguel.
How about you, Sarah? What's your big takeaway for a first timer? Not bad.
No,
Hopefully not the last.
yeah. No, I definitely had so much fun being here, and like Ron said, I was a little kind of shy and inquiring, do I click now? Do I not? I mean, but I really wanted, because I mean, Ron and Eric have been like such cool guys and friends to me, and now meeting Mikkel as well, such a cool dude. Nice to meet you. But yeah, I didn't want to let Ron down, or because at first he was like, I want to surprise Eric with you coming into the show, so I wanted to do that too.
Good job, Ron.
But I learned that I don't know a lot about the Philippine politics and what's happening, but
That's okay.
This is why you're happy, Sarah. This is why you look much prettier than any of us.
No stress, eh? But anyway, but it's important to know these things too, and even if it's good to see you guys, good to talk to you guys, and also hearing about like just learning more about you guys because of the question that you have, the Boy Abunda questions. That's great. And it's lovely to know that people want the best for our country, and it's great to see you guys are trying to spread the word about not fighting about all these things, or acting more responsibly, because again, we need to do that in order to succeed. Just for the greater good, a little sacrifice will be great. So it's such a great experience and lovely chat. I want to do it again, of course.
Yes.
Anytime you have me, and thanks for having me here. It's great.
Don't worry, Sarah. I'm gonna bug you every time, every chance I get. Okay. you can we call it the alcoholics, the version of the alcoholics anonymous version of futboleros, or people who used to play football and we can't play football anymore. So this is what we do, so that we can
talk about it. Yeah.
in lieu of not playing football. This is the best thing that we can do right now.
Yes. And to the lovers and haters of advertising, the likes of myself, we try our best to make your experience a lot better with the stuff that we sell, and we really beg the clients to make our lives easier by creating something that is entertaining that people will want to see. And like to Eric's point, hopefully the algorithm will work it out that we only see what we want to see, or things that we will eventually like also. So
You never know what you'll discover.
Exactly.
Or
But that's all for me. What about you, Ron?
No, first of all, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. And I wanted to, I didn't want to end the program without asking you, who's your favorite Premier League team?
Oh, Jesus.
After all, it's Istoryang FutBolero. Who do you root for, Sarah?
Okay, number one, I don't know. Okay, number one, my team is actually not in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah?
It's Liga. Sorry, that's
You're a La Liga fan.
yeah, but
Okay.
Wait, what's your La Liga team? Can we just clarify?
Barcelona.
Oh, God.
Barcelona.
Sarah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay yan, okay yan.
It's okay. I respect other people's.
No, but and this is something that you will also again hate about me. Back when I used to watch EPL, I would follow the players and not the teams really. So I was an Arsenal fan before because I love Thierry Henry.
Thierry.
Okay, yeah.
He's my man. But everyone, like the Gerards, they're cool too and stuff like that. But Thierry was my guy, so that's why.
Very good choice. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get behind it because of Thierry Henry, not the team.
I mean, because it's even like you like Lakers because of Kobe. Well, that was me. I like Lakers.
Yeah, me too. But no more Kobe, no more Lakers. I can't support LeBron tomorrow.
Yeah, because I moved
pretty much
to liking the Lakers to actually being a big fan of the Bulls because of Michael Jordan. So yeah,
exactly.
We're suckers for personalities. That's why Filipinos are just so we like the larger than life personality. That's why, right? That's
Athletic Bilbao daw, sabi ni Mikoy. Hoy, Mikoy, panggulo ka, Juventus ka naman eh.
Yeah, Sarah, again, thank you for joining us. Definitely, we appreciate you in what you do, because advertising, after all, like although you sell product, but then again, it's all about the beauty of advertising. It's communications in its purest form. Like you're asking people to sort of like, I don't know, the creativity behind it is just something that I admire about advertising people. That's why we're friends with people from the Adobo Cup, like all these nice, great guys, the creative guys from Adobo.
Ito Bixi!
Diba? Look at how it works, man. That in itself is like you can tell how creative people are from the Adobo Cup just by looking at the uniforms that we've been wearing all these years, right?
True.
Then we miss you, Sarah. I mean, we miss your effervescent smile when you're on. And we hope to see you soon, and I hope there'll be better days, when we can finally see each other again.
Yeah.
and play football.
Yeah. Just playing with you guys.
And as we close the this episode of Istoryang FutBolero, Sarah, you stay safe, and we want to tell everybody to stay safe as well. And all you need to do is really follow the basic guidelines of the government, the reminders from the DILG and the DOH. Make sure to follow Bida ang may disiplina, which is bawal ang walang mask, isanitize ang mga kamay, iwasan ng bumawak ng kung ano-ano, distansya ng 1 metro, and alamin ang totoong impormasyon. Diba, Sarah? Bawal ang fake news, right?
Bawal ang fake news. Wait, let's take a picture first.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Oh, sige.
Wait, wow, this is a first.
This is our first.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, cool.
Yeah. Good night, guys. Thank you so much, Mikoy. All the Facebook users who are watching from the other group. Thank you for chatting. So it's about engagement after all. So you can tell there's an ongoing argument happening.
Guys, kung ano man debate nyo, respect each other. Ha? Always be respectful.
Correct. See, Lawrence, thank you, man. We'll catch you again Friday when we do Orion Day.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. And Jerome, thank you so much. And Nielsen as well. So that's it for the show. Good night and stay safe and have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.